Okay, so I've got my hot plate set up to heat up my samples. We're doing the Benedicts test, and I've got my 5 samples from here. I set them up in these test tubes: water, glucose, albumin, starch, food, and you'll see that the starting color, so if you turn to page 23, this table, it asks you to write down what is the starting color of your sample. This, you can see sort of this turquoise blue is the starting color for all the samples. The water, the glucose, the albumin, starch, and the food sample, they're all kind of that turquoisey blue color. Maybe a little cloudy, sometimes they're more clear, but either way, they all pretty much look the same. And then what we have to do is we're going to, if you go look up above on page 23, it says after a few minutes in boiling water, we're going to check the color. So I have right here, there's a hot plate down here. See this? See the hot plate? I have to be careful because my camera. There's a little beaker right here. And what I'm going to do is try to get my camera to not tilt the whole time. I'm going to put my test tubes in this beaker of hot water. Just like that. And it says to do it for a few minutes. Put a timer, set a timer on my watch, put it on for 5 minutes, right? And we'll see what happens. This water is basically boiling. It's quite warm. What do we think is going to happen? Are any of these going to change color? I don't know how well you can already see, but if I could get the camera down here a little closer, you might actually... probably can't really tell very well, but I'll tell you what I'll do. See that? Some of these samples are already changing colors, and others are not. So we definitely have some stuff going on here, okay? Okay. It's been about 2 minutes, just a little over 2 minutes, and I would say we've already got pretty clear confirmation on a good number of these. Ooh, pretty. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead after it's been a few minutes, almost 3 minutes now. Go ahead and take these out. So here's water. It's a water sample. It's very blue still, pretty much the same as its starting color. We've got glucose. Where's glucose? Ooh, look at that. Glucose, sort of that bright red color. Next up is starch. Here's starch, and it is still pretty blue. We've got our albumin. This one. Ooh, that's kind of almost a purplish indigo blue. And then the last sample we have here is our French fry. Look at that. That's kind of a green color. Oh, well, you can see that. And if you're ever in need, you can kind of look at all of them together. Again, here's water, glucose, starch, albumin, and your French fry. It's pretty green. If you're looking at these, you want to go ahead and fill in here then the final color, right? So blue, I think starch was blue, albumin was almost a purple color, but your food was green, your glucose was red. So fill that in. And then, so what do those results mean? Remember, from way back here, I told you guys any color, green, yellow, orange, red, anything like that, that's positive. Whereas blue and purple are negative. So water would be negative, but glucose, very much positive. Starch, negative, albumin, negative, but your food sample, again, that's green color, means there is a little bit of sugar in there. And then it asks you, what's the purpose of doing the one with only water? We're going to come back. I'm going to do those questions next, okay?